just when I thought I wasn't going to spend any more money on optics this year, we're in the home stretch of a year of gross fiscal irresponsibility. Kahles pulls up and drops on us an all-new Gen 2 K18i 1-to-8 power LPVO. Like, come on, bro. We're out here fighting for our lives and you got to drop a $3,000 optic on our heads? Like, I'm going to pull out my wallet and insert chip here. Like, okay, you got me fair and square, Kahles. Now, just hand over the glass. Let me pay my 24.69% of firm interest in peace. Okay, thanks. Listen, Cody Curry here, and this is 110 SAS Actual. But first, guys, I just want to thank you for the support. The channel has been doing so well these past few months, and heck, just in the past 28 days, we have over 1.7 million views and nearly 5,000 new subscribers here. So, friends, just do old dad a solid, hit the subscribe button, drop a little comment for the algorithm gods, and share with your friends the greatest gun tuber in my neighborhood. So, the brand spanking new K18i Gen 2. Now, if you followed the channel for a while, you guys will know I did an entire series dedicated to high-end LPVOs. If you haven't seen that, I highly suggest you do so. There's tons of good information in there and lots of time behind the glass of some of the most expensive LPVOs on the market. We had Schmidt Bender, we had Night Force, Leupold, March, Vortex, and of course Kahles, the Gen 1 K18i. All went head to head and we declared a winner. So go peep that video for sure. In that video though, we do have the first Gen K18i. Now, not only was it the second best glass on the market at that time, it's still up there amongst the best today. So if it was that great, why did they change anything? If it's not broke, why are you fixing it? Well, let me tell you, boss, we wouldn't have gotten past the old, hear ye, black powder pea shooters if they'd held that same bullcrap attitude, praise Eugene. So let's dive in and let's talk about some of the changes to the Gen 2. The first thing out of the gate, let's just talk about the LPVO itself and what it's designed to do and what it does for you. Now, the LPVO is a do-it-all kind of optic, a general purpose piece, a dual roll platform. It has just enough magnification, to PID at a decent range and also give you the extra edge of a more precise point of aim. With an LPVO, you also get the speed of a 1-power sight picture acquisition. It's just the best choice for a general purpose weapon that you plan on, using from 0 to right around, the max effective capability of your typical 14.5-inch 5.56 gun, which is about, roughly 600 yards. Now, sure, can you make hits further than that and then with a 14.5? You can do it further than that with an 11.5. But, past that 550, 600 yards, the 5.56 pill just isn't gonna have the energy, to do a tremendous amount of devastation. So we call this platform the Dual Roll Combat Carbine, the DRCC. A platform, that's capable of making accurate hits out to say, roughly 600 meters and PID them, but also have ultra fast, both eyes open, red dot sight feel. 2 rolls, up close, kind of far away. Dual roll, neat. So after mounting this thing up and getting behind the glass, the first thing that surprised me the most was this huge field of view. It's no joke, guys. Now, not only was the first Gen K18i the absolute best 1-power eye box on the market, picture, field of view, whatever it is on 1-power, the K18i was absolutely the king of the 1-power eye box in LPVOs. But those mad lads said the biggest ain't biggest enough, hoss. So they went up the field of view by nearly 20%, going from roughly 125 field of view on base power to a gigantic 150 feet. Now, why is that important? So when you run an LPVO, the optic lives on 1-power magnification. It stays there 100% of the time until you either need to PID or make a shot with a more precision point of aim. If you need a PID or make this precision shot, you simply take the half second to throw the magnification lever and go to work. The whole idea is that you need to make a quick and fast shot. There's absolutely no faster way to do that than popping your carbine and fighting to that sight picture of your primary optic. You see, now God and Eugene got together and put your primary optic right here in this perfect little spot. When you pop your carbine, oh my God, guess what's there? Yes, that's correct, your primary optic. So if you need to get on that primary optic fast, do you want it on max power magnification? No. Do you want to have to struggle and fight for a piggyback or roll it over to find, the offset dot? No. You want it on base power magnification because that's going to be the absolute most truest extension of your own eye that's going to be the fastest to find. That's it. End of story. And when you're on your base power magnification, it's important to have the most uninterrupted, widest field of view as possible. When you're shooting a gun, you know, whether it's like a 3-gun match, a carbine match, whatever, you need to always be gathering and processing data. You know, what's in front of you? What's most important if you are pulling the trigger? What's in front of you is what's most important if you're pulling the trigger. So you need to be able to assess what exactly is going on, what's moving around, and what's your next move. If you're out there, you know, looking through a toilet paper roll, well, you're gonna have a bad time. Your optic is absolutely positively going to limit your ability to read, assess, and act on whatever situation is in front of you. If you can't see, you know, more than what a toilet paper roll is gonna allow, you're gonna have a bad day. This is why it's such a big deal to have 150 feet field of view when optics, you know, like the Night Force ATACR have a disgusting 93 feet field of view. Having as much clear and uninterrupted field of view with as much data in your eye you can gather in front of you helps you be the most educated shooter. Precise and safe shots are what's most important. Whether it's your local carbine club, 3-gun match, or just, you know, range time LARPing with the homies, a large field of view is absolutely key to having a great LPVO. And as far as the K18 Gen 2 goes, there isn't a single optic on the market that comes close to dethroning it from the crown. I mean, look at this video. Look at how the edges aren't distorted. There's no fisheye effect. It's like you're looking out your kitchen window. Clean, flat, and as if there's absolutely nothing in your line of sight but a reticle. Even the edges of the optic housing, it appears, you know, razor thin to the eye, doesn't interrupt your sight picture. The 1-power eye box and field of view of the Kahles K18i Gen 2 is absolutely unrivaled in the LPVO world. Now this can be partly attributed to its new 34mm tube because the first gen 1-6 and 1-8 power are both 30mm tubes. You know, I really like that they've gone larger. There's really only one downside to it being larger, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It's larger. The rest is all pros. Well done. Now, let's talk about the actual glass. So the parent company of Kahles is Swarovski. Yeah, you might have heard of that little glass company that's been around since the 1800s. You know, they've been making jewelry, watches, crystal, and yeah, you guessed it, optics. Literally world renowned for its quality. Now, Kahles is a brand that's been out for 125 years. But in 1977, when your mama was disco dancing, Swaro bought up Kahles and made them their own line. Fast forward to today, Kahles is now like their more tactical lineup, while Swaro is more, you know, for like the practical and like hunting consumers. So yeah, you know, as far as glass goes, you know, they've got enough time between the two that date back to like, I don't know, the Pilgrim days. Listen guys, math ain't my thing. But the glass on this Gen 2 is absolutely phenomenal. It's bright, it's crisp, the color transmission. It's as if you're seeing, you know, the full-size IPSC Iron Maiden in HD. When you crank up that magnification, you know, it doesn't get all dark and dreary, making it harder to PID and find that good point of aim. It stays bright, which is especially important for you dawn and dusk shooters. This can be partly attributed, you know, to this new 34mm tube, but mostly because the quality of the glass and the lens coating that make, you know, that light transfer in your picture crisp and bright. Now, one new thing for the Gen 2 is the 3GR reticle. The 3GR reticle has been available since the beginning. However, for the Gen 2, the reticle got an added drop of mil here for elevation, and windage holds for that mil as well. I found the biggest thing lacking with the entire LPVO lineup of Kahles is the choice of reticles. Now, while I firmly believe you don't need, you know, a tactical Christmas tree with approximately a bajillion mils of drop and windage, you know, for a general purpose weapon, I do believe that an additional mil of elevation that was added to this reticle is a big deal. You know, with like a 16-inch 5.56 gun pushing 55 grain pills, you know, 3,100 feet per second. 5 mil is going to get you right out to around 550 yards, which is pushing close to the max effective range of 5.56 anyways. Sure, you can absolutely make hits further than that. You know, I've shot tournaments with dudes ringing steel at 1,000 yards with 14.5s. Now, the 5.56 again doesn't have a tremendous amount of energy at that range, but I've seen folks do it. And let's be honest with ourselves here. The 5.56 gun isn't the best choice really for anything past, you know, 500, that's 600 yards. You know, not really. Honestly, I'd rather have like a large frame gasser, you know, a 14.5-inch or 16-inch 7.62 or 6.5 Creed gun. It's really going to start to shine out past those kinds of distances. 5 mil of hold with that kind of large frame gasser is going to get you out to, 600 yards with 140 grain pills of 6.5 Creedmoor with a considerable amount more energy. And at the end of all of that, do you really need much more power than 8 magnification on your optic for like a dual roll carbine? No. Probably not. And if you do, you should probably consider a different gun and different optic for your task. But remember, more magnification usually means more weight and less versatility because you are going to lose that base power of 1 magnification, which is crucial to that dual roll carbine. Now, it's not all sunshine and roses here, guys. There's a couple small things out of the box, the soft cover that goes over top of it, it's okay, I guess. I mean, I'm not gonna use it. I'd rather just like have caps or something like that. The sleeve, it's kind of a pain to get on and off, and well, it's really not protecting, much of anything other than like safe rash and like ultralight impacts, whatever. It's just gonna sit on the shelf forever. But you also get 2 different throw lever attachments. One is obnoxiously big that gets caught up on absolutely anything and everything, and it's absolutely not meant for like any kind of duty use. And then there's a much more reasonable size lever. The big one, if you're a 3-gun shooter, that's probably fine, and it's the perfect one for you because you're constantly changing. But the mid-size one or the regular size one, it's okay. But, honestly, I'm just probably going to take it off here, wrap, the scope ring, the magnification ring here, and just put like some hockey and skateboard tape on it. It'll be just grippy enough, to be able to manipulate it, but it's not going to get stuck on all my kit. Now, out of all of that, I do have 2 complaints. One is being the illumination. While it's adequate for me for like 90% of all days, it's just not like super intensely bright like that of, the Vortex Razor or the Attacker. Now, those things, they can literally like burn a hole in your retina. If you're using this glass, like on the brightest of bright environments, like in Arizona or like other desert places, you might struggle just a touch. But here in the Midwest, in the South, and really honestly, just pretty much anywhere else in America other than the desert, that's gonna have foliage and whatnot, you're gonna have good contrast. So it's really not a tremendous problem. It's a baby little gripe, but it's still a gripe. Now, the last gripe I have with this thing, man, it's 2023, and these goobers are out here putting out capped, non-numbered turrets. Like, what's going on? You genuinely have absolutely zero idea where your dope is at if you go and change this thing. If you ever have to dial dope, you better hope and pray you don't like skip a couple clicks or something, because when you count your clicks back and it's not actually your 0 where you thought you were, because you're a goober like me that doesn't, mark the turrets or know how to count, well, you're gonna have a bad day because now your 0 is completely off and you're gonna have to go back to the 100-yard line. Like, dog, it's 2023, about to be 2024. Make the turrets exposed, weatherproof them, and give us some numbers. It's low-key kind of criminal that, like an Amazon optic can have exposed, weatherproof, and numbered turrets, but, this $3,000 optic can't. But, listen, good news, you can buy replacement turrets for them online that are OEM and take like a minute to install. But dude, just include them in the box. Don't lie to me and tell me there isn't a demand for them or that they cost too much. You're hurting my sensitive little feelers here by lying to me like that. But I digress, whatever. I'm still salty if you couldn't tell. So guys, like in conclusion here, the K18i Gen 2 has come out strong. This optic does almost everything amazing except them turrets. Guys, it's light. It has incredible glass, unparalleled 1-power eye box, field of view, and sight picture with essentially 0 fisheye. So I'm just gonna come out and say it. Buy the exposed turrets, and this is the best LPVO on the market at the moment. No ifs and buts about it. It's absolutely the pinnacle of do-it-all, dual-roll carbine optics. So friends, I hate to do this to you so close to Christmas, but you're gonna have to get yourself one more Christmas present. Until next time, guys, thank you.
So guys, just a quick ending note here. I guess these things are pretty hard to come by. It took me like over a month to actually find one of these things in stock to buy. I guess they're just not making a ton of them, or they're just selling out really quick. I'm not too sure, but I just don't have the bots to find it. But I hit up a company called Darkfast. I just want to give them a shout out here because, man, dude, you procured me one in like 2 days. So just wanted to, say special thanks, finding me one to actually buy here. So, thanks again, and definitely going to be hitting them up. So guys, I appreciate it. Thanks.